Um, we can bring up just a couple other things, I suppose, while we're just getting this cracking on. So the round 4 images, round 1 images there, I've got up on the screen now. As we know, tonight is the old HFKT, which is now Chimera. What are they called? What's the V stand for? Someone?
Oh, it's the 1983 Holden Chimera team. That's the full name.
What a name.
Very deep, very deep.
And what a car, I might add.
Well, words cannot describe that. Okay, so we're just setting up our squads and stuff now for the battle. It's going to get going very, very shortly, and that's great. So I've got the draw there, and then of course the second match tonight is NRD AAS versus the public team. That's actually, I'm sorry lads, but you're all shit. I'm really looking forward to watching the public team do their thing, because I think you'll find, as we discussed last night, there's a bunch of sneaky players in there who are not clan aligned, who can really throw grenades right up your ass when they're throwing them, if you know what I mean. And I'm kind of keen to see how that public team goes. Of course, there'll be egg on my face if they're absolute rubbish, but whatever. So that's what's occurring there. We're just setting up the battle, as I said. Now, what else can we talk about? Let's go to Fuzz. I think actually, let's switch across to Kiwi. Kiwi, we're going to just quickly talk about the map again. And what I want you to do is let me know what's the key to this map. Tell me about it.
The map that it's put me on now, which is Hurricane or Hill 400, is it? Yes. Okay. So being
start quickly, we can see that the Siegfried line is the central cap point. So with this competition, as we know, it's a fight over the central cap point. We actually have admins standing on Carl Trail and Jacob's Barn so that they don't accidentally cap those areas. Those admins do nothing except pretty. But on Siegfried's where it's at. So now talk to me about Siegfried, Kiwi. What do you know about that particular area of this map?
Yeah, roger that. I mean, being relatively newer in a tactical sense than most of the other team commanders there on the panel, I look at the maps a little bit more simplistically than probably what they look at. So what I'm seeing from my perspective is what you'd call close country. So when you're operating in close country, whoever's moving is at the disadvantage, and whoever's defending and is still has the advantage to get the kills and can shut down movement. So it's really important that you disguise your movement or come in from a range of different angles. Because as you see, once you get set up in your defense and you're able to shut down the enemy's movement, because they, obviously they really stand out when you're just lying there and you're really camouflaged. I think that's really the key on a basic level. Obviously, the other commanders will look at it from a much more tactical perspective, look at actual points itself. And
I'm just looking at it now. So I've got my camera set to the south of Siegfried, and straight away we can see that the team that's on the right-hand side of the map, what would they be? What am I on, actually? This is a good question. Axis. So the Axis team on this particular one has I don't know the shit off the top of my head. The Axis team have the advantage by being up the hill, running down the hill into the point.
Sure. Yeah.
But when I say that, I've attacked over here. I'm looking now at about, say, Echo 8, Keypad 6. That area, look, you can see supplies are dropping in there already. So clearly the Chimera guys are planning on coming in down in that area because it is a good place to attack from. And there's, as you talk about cover and concealment and things like that, I've done a video on cover and concealment. Go watch that. Anyway, using the cover of the forest, or the concealment of the forest rather, and the cover of all those tank bollards, you can probably push up map edge pretty well. So I'm looking at that and I'm saying the Axis forces, the TFK guys, really need to lock down map edge. I'm going to pop over, let's have Fiercey. Do you want to have a bit of a comment about this one,
Mate, I think the key to Siegfried line is getting in there as quick as possible. If you are on the TFK side at the moment and you get in there early, you have the high ground. And as Kiwi said, if you can get in there and get your troops deployed in a position where they can take advantage of people that are moving through that open field across the river, I think they'll dominate.
Well, interesting point just quickly, mate. Chimera have already got into the field. They've got 2 full trucks.
Yeah, very, very well done by Chimera.
Well,
very well done.
That's the advantage for the left-hand side of the map, is the roads are a lot easier to get in on. You can see that the Chimera guys, sorry, not the Chimera guys, the TFK guys, are still stuck at Golf 8. That's actually where I'm looking at on the map right now, trying to
It looks like they've gone to set up flanking Gary's first knoppers. Yeah, I haven't seen this tactic used yet in this comp. Let's see how it unfolds.
It's also worth noting here that we actually just saw believe our first truck snipe of the tournament as well, from the Chimera Holden guys sniping a TFK truck.
Oh, is that what happened? Did they get their
Yeah.
transport truck?
Yeah, they got their transport truck just at that southern compound, and we actually see another one rolling up here now. So we might actually see our second one.
Is that him being shot? Medic? Oh, I thought we were there for a second. Gosh, that's okay. This is something these Chimera guys are doing very well. They're putting in some oh my god, hats off to you for putting in some there is not enough of that. It is absolutely suppressing the TFK guys at that point. They can't do anything. And
Hey, knoppers.
go.
Have a look over here at this Sherman tank they've got set up on the hill here. Premium cover fire position. Exactly what you're talking about, mate. They're the ones throwing the suppressive fire and.
Alright, let's have a bit of a look down behind that now. I did give myself some feedback last night, slow down your camera and actually get in a bit more behind the action, so I hope the viewers are actually enjoying that. That is the
They have complete view of that tree line. If any of the TFK guys come up over that ridge line, they will be instantly silhouetted and taken down by this tank. I can guarantee it.
Risky, I'm going to bump to you now, mate. I can't remember which side you're on here, but or who you're even rooting for. Let's go with that. What do you think TFK need to do? Because it's clear to me that Chimera have dominated at this point. They're 200-300 meters forward of what we
Yeah, so I was just looking at that tank as well. That's set up in Overwatch. They're pushing forward straight through on the map edge at the minute, which isn't going to work for them. The way Chimera is set out here, they're not going to break through. They're going to have to reset, set up some flanking Garys here. You can see the recon's up there in F7 at the minute, Charlie squad. Getting some supplies to him and getting a flanking Gary up there to the north east at the minute might be a good starting option for those guys.
I'm just following fish sticks around now in follow mode. It's Kiwi. I'm going to bump you now. This is something that I pointed out about the match. Is if I look at the map right now, it's coming in one grid against each other. Comments on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting looking at it from admin cam, and it was even interesting watching the stream because you tactically can see so much more of how an attack's going, and even when you're commander, sometimes what you're seeing might look reasonably good, but when you're actually on the admin cam now, when you can see both teams, you can understand that, yeah, that attack has very... Well, yeah, maybe if they do take and hold F8, the houses at F8, that's a good move, but it's still, yeah. To me, you probably want to squeeze the point from at least two sides, but that's my opinion.
I think we need to see something up to Echo 6 to at least avoid the tank and get something in from Echo 6 and push from the north.
They are trying to push
Absolutely.
four up into point, but they're having trouble getting through the tree line. It looks like.
Oh, it got engaged by the that Sherman sitting on just in that Overwatch position. Took one round and backed off as it should.
I'm still watching fish sticks. Look, he's on about a 5 kill streak right now. He's made his way all the way from the back of the field. But the tank's now, the tank is there. This is a good smoke. I think he should be. And he's got, not Candy Rock, who is that? This is Candy Rock. McFly, there you go, McFly coming towards him. He's got dudes down the hill to his left. He's overexposed here because this. One of the things we do in the military is you're always cognizant of your next piece of cover. When you're moving, you're firing, you're moving forward. Keep an eye on your next piece of cover, know where your next piece of because fish sticks being put out, you know where to run to, don't run backwards when you get shot at, and so it Alright, what else are we looking at, guys? What's on the map right now?
Well, I was just looking. Able squad was just trying to push into F7 there from TFK, but that just got shut down immediately by Chimera. A whole squad just swarmed that area and shut them down instantly.
What's the what's yeah,
In
what's
my
the
opinion-
garrisons looking like for TFK here?
Yeah, I was just about to comment on that. We've got one garrison up for TFK at the moment. It's not looking good.
Yeah.
They need to try and get some flanking garries up to
And it's
help.
pressure. It's
Yeah.
legit.
This is why they're all coming from the same place at the moment. If they can get another garrison up on the flank that can split their forces and start hitting Siegfried from two different sides, definitely going to help them.
Jacob DAS are pushing on you, who's trying to build. He's building stuff. He doesn't know there's two blokes right next to him. This is going to end poorly. 3, 2, 1. There we go.
We've actually got two blue players on point now. They've come in from F8 and they've snuck around, but they don't have a squad lead, so the attack is it's brave and it's pretty cool to watch, but it's ultimately doomed, I would say.
Right, I'm following the tank now. The tank is very tightly aligned to protect the garrison. Because you're going to throw you in now, tell me about the rules here, about what you're about to do. So last night, I just explained last night, we saw hands of formation and something, and comments were made about the fact that people spend their points on being attacked. So tell me how that works, please.
Well, that's it. We thought we would throw a tanker. Originally, this was going to be an infantry-only tournament, but we decided to mix it up and allow a tank crew. We see it as a commander has to be smart in what he spends his points on. Also, in the amount he has to worry about the amount of vehicles that are on the fields, including half tracks that are allowed to be used. Because if he chooses poorly and winds up giving someone a Panzer IV when they should have had a Tiger to take on a 76 or something like that, those little things count and add up in a game. We saw that last night in the OC game with the Tiger that happened to push back that Chimera assault on our point in the last 5 minutes. If it wasn't for that Tiger, I think we would have had a different outcome at the end of that game. Just little things like that. I really do think that the commander has to be smart about what he deploys for his troops. And I intended when we made the rules for this comp for it to be like that. I want people really thinking about tactics in this comp, and it's starting to show through watching these games that these teams are really starting to take that seriously. Really good to see.
I like the I'm just looking at all that brick here. So he's just down at the western line, just on the west, just got shot. So he's doing what I call spray and pray with his machine gun, which is on the American side the Browning. See where that goes. Now, how many rounds it's got? I think it's either 150 or 200. And if you hold the trigger, that gives you, I don't know, 20 seconds of flight, right? And you suppress the sort of sprays over a big zone. Now, here's the kicker, and I've talked about this before, and I've had people sort of disagree with me a little bit on this, and I'm quite firm on this. If you do 3 to 5 round groups, that machine gun, that sort of happens. You increase the amount of time and still achieve suppression. The exact same suppression. You just get longer. You might get an extra 30 seconds on top of that if you do bursts. It works.
Hey, Noppers, have a look at this battle going on here, mate, in F8 between TFK. They've linked up with the tank and they're trying to push the Chimera guys back down this flank. They're doing quite well.
Yeah, I just saw that. I think this was where Alfred was spraying the brakes. So well, that's your. There's the tank. Someone
Oh, that is a deadly satchel.
Ouch. Ouch. There's a satchel.
A quality satchel by a Chimera player. That has completely wiped out that attacking force from TFK. Let's hope they have an OP.
And there goes the truck. Oh, they're now shooting
Yep.
the Panzer in the back.
I'd say the Panzer IV is in danger now as well.
One thing I would have liked to seen from the Chimera guys is recognising that they've got a very strong hold on this point, and trading that medium tank out, just escape route a point and getting yourself a 76. So perhaps they want to use all the ammo in this one and then go to something bigger. but I do think getting that first heavy tank out does give you a big advantage.
Even if they decide to send an AC, just a single AT player back to that hill and build a tank gun, that's going to help immensely.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw that last night actually. A couple of players on M10 guns were absolutely incredible in the way that they were holding off attacks and things like that. Whiskey, there was one stage there where you had a really good attack coming in from 3 para, and I think it was George Soros was on there. He wanted me on he did a really good anti-tank gun work up the top there. What was the strategy there? What was his plan?
Yeah, he's a bit annoyed you didn't get that actually, so you have to give a shout out to him. George is easily the Foy Boys' best AT player. He's unbelievable before matches. He some of the spots he scopes out and the work he does is second to none. So usually we don't give him any direction. We just let him, roll with it, and he'll always find spots. He'll find angles. So he was obviously up there and thought something was needed. So he just he got to work.
I just watched one of the America run straight in front of the tank. I do know that the drivers got machine gun.
I believe he was out of ammo. They're getting that quick respawn.
Oh, right. Okay, so that was suicide. Geez, it's all happening around this tank at the moment. But Chimera's really shut down.
One thing I'd sort of note in this sort of situation is when they're kind of being channeled into the attack that they're TFK are being channeled into the attack that they're going for, that linear attack you're talking about. Sometimes an airhead off to the flank just to break up your angles, even if it's not in a rock star position where you might want to put an airhead, a big spectacular airhead like the Grim Tim bombing run one. But just way off to the flank so you can set up some alternative Garys and just give the guys a little bit of breathing space, because at the moment they're getting frustrated. You can see they're frustrated. They're actually getting pushed backwards. So they've got to switch it up basically.
You've done it now that you mentioned
Yeah, shout out to him.
he's one of the quite strong commanders in this OC community, Oceanic, rather than OC. That's all been good. Quite a few there, but this is the point actually. The attack's not working. It's completely shut down. It's pushed back badly, and we need to see them change that up. I'm being told that my microphone is very, very quiet.
That would be because I've got the wrong microphone selected. How disgusting is that? So at this point in time, we've now gone to a much better microphone, and you'll all be hearing me really well instead of the stupid headphone one. All right. So Kiwi, talk to me then. How would you change it? So you've set an airhead up north somewhere. Let's talk through. Give me some specifics on it, mate.
Yeah, well, I just think that your team commander now has got to make some hard decisions. That attacks, it's not going anywhere. There's no way. There's literally no way. Or it maybe in some alternative realities they get through that bush. So now you're going to use your recon to get off to the flank. You're going to use that airhead. You're going to take a supply truck from one of your HQs, bring it in wide, try and maybe shut down the enemy tank so that you can get into the rear of Siegfried. Now that don't get me wrong, I'm not making light of. That's a hard attack. Those are all hard attacks. They're not easy. It's difficult whichever way they come in, but it's their only chance as far as I see it. Literally the boys are frustrated. They're probably snapping. You'd love to hear some of the squad chat sometimes in some of these positions when the guys are getting frustrated.
Yeah, I deliberately turned that off because in case there's anything that can't go across Twitch rather. So all right. So we just saw while you were talking actually a little bit of a north push out of that garrison. That one garrison they've got. I don't understand that, but they're pushing out of that one garrison, and Chimera have shut that down. The
Looks like Fish Sticks is trying to get north to get a Gary going, but Chimera have been smart enough to realise that's what they're trying to do, and they actually cut them off. If you have a look in Grid Square, just north of where the garrison is, actually, Fish Sticks actually has broken through now.
Yeah, he's just been shot down. Fish is he's having a really good game. I'm not sure about some of the other guys around, but Fish Sticks is my MVP. so far.
The BMM guys came and got involved. Fish Sticks and his mates. Well done.
Yeah, this is what I'd really like to see is almost like a full reset of sorts from the TFK guys. Get a supply truck mid or top spawn and really come and flank in that F6 gully. Watching a few internationals and having participated, that's how you crack Siegfried from the Axis. You got to get around there, secure the north control, and then just suffocate them against that southern border. Just push down and keep that constant pressure up.
Yep. Okay.
Just,
So
it's also just establishing another garrison. One simply isn't good enough in this.
well, let's have a look here. I'm just doing a bit of map work. It's very quiet on the battlefield at the moment. Most of the TFK guys are well back. So at Jacob's Barn, they've placed a place garrison marker. So clearly they're looking for a garrison to be set up there, and that's exactly right. They've
And
lost.
sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt,
they
because I think the garrison just got taken down by Brian.
It
from
did.
Chimera.
Uh,
So they're down to 0
TFK,
garrisons just off OPs now.
Strife here.
yeah, that's pretty bad. What's going
Just
on there
another
right
thing, Noppers. They the commander's dropping supplies for garrisons everywhere. I mean, in comp games, you can do it in public games. In comp games, that's you just don't do it. You know, you need if you want to get a red zone garrison, you double box.
Mm.
Those parachutes are just going to get taken out straight away, especially by a team like this.
now? Yeah, well, I'm seeing that they've got so the TFK guys have got supplies down there at Fox 8 down the bottom of the map, but they've struggled the entire match to get anywhere near that area and hold it.
I think this might be a good time to point out squad movement. Noppers, have a look at the Chimera guys and their movement compared to TFK. They're always rolling in groups, 2s or 3s, compared to 1 or... So I can't even see a TFK player that's rolling as a group at the moment. There's a couple there, but...
I know Fish Sticks has been doing it. I've watched him do it a couple of times. He's been with his squad, but he tends to get further forward and kill lots of things and then die, and his squad sort of gradually gets picked off a bit. I don't. It might just be luck at this stage. It's pretty early, and I do apologise to everybody. Turns out that I have my headset microphone on and not my main desk microphone, which I just tapped. So I fixed the volume up now. With the last, what do we got? We've got 23 minutes left in this match, so now you can get excited with us. Hopefully we see something from TFK. They are pushing. Okay, so I'm just going to talk you through what's happening here. We've got a tank at Gulf 5 from TFK. We've got supplies dropping on Jacobs now, and a garrison's going to be put up there. We've got another garrison at Gulf 8 finally. Although there aren't many TFKs down there to defend it, they're at least there. And Chimera aren't going to push too far to the east because they can't, because they've got to hold Siegfried, and that's how it works. We've got 1, 2, 3 trucks driving all over the map. There's a supply truck at I3, India 3. There's 2 transport trucks around, say, India 6. We've got guys that have spawned in at Juliet 4, but I'm assuming they're admin. Yeah, it's you, Whiskey. Well, look at what you're lurking up there for, mate. What's that about? Whiskey's probably having a little bit of a chat with his sidekick. That's
No, it's just where I've spawned in to sit there, an admin camp.
And even though they're trying to re-establish that attack, it's highlighting exactly what Whiskey said. Chimera have already marked where those parachutes were dropping. They already know about it before it's hit the ground.
So are they actually marking it on the map? They're showing
Yeah,
that information.
they're putting garrison marks down and everything.
Okay. I just realised the guys that are sitting at Jacob's Barn are the admins. So whilst they've put a place garrison mark and supplies there, the blue dots that have been sitting there for the last few minutes, that's
in the game.
yeah. So they're not even playing. These guys are just sort of chilling out playing cards or whatever it is. Gabe's just lurking on the top. So they've got an intent up there to build a garrison, but no garrison. Okay, we've had a recon go over. TFK would be looking at that right now and hopefully realising that there is a lot of stuff in Fox 7 and 8, which should mean to them there's not much north.
Looks like they've clicked on to needing to change their tactics. I think what they're trying to do is try and sneak a supply truck around the back to try and get a Gary set up somewhere to the north. That's exactly what Fuzz said before. If they can do that, they can push their troops down from the north and suffocate them out of Siegfried line.
Yeah, I think there's an attacking possibility here from the rear of Siegfried from E8, possibly an airhead, but Chimera are really smart. They've got the Wolf waiting back there, probably just waiting for an airhead, I would say.
Give us a grid on that. I think I found it.
In E8. He's just waiting there, and I'm pretty sure he'll probably just be waiting there in the event of either recon or an airhead coming in.
So-
But, if their recon, if TFK got their recon deep and got them in from the rear, there's always a chance to slip in and defend an airhead
Well,
quickly because, yeah,
you know-
it's vulnerable from the rear.
You know where the wolf is? That's
Yes.
literally just behind the lines at Siegfried. Yeah, absolutely. So he's defending, keeping an eye out, I guess, for flank pushes, for airheads. He hasn't got the binos out. He's just kind of crouching. So he's just waiting to see if anything comes in, I guess.
He might just be acting as a radar player. So as soon as he sees his OP goes hot, he knows, guys, I need 2 of you guns facing backwards to deal with the threat.
All right, so it's disappointing to see Alpha Squad here on the TFK. They just got slaughtered from, that must be about 200-300 meters away on their own OP, way back. Well, we're back in the middle of Gulf 8 right now, Gulf 8 Keypad 5, and Chimera just shredding them in there.
It almost
Absolutely.
looks like they're trying to take Salient.
If you move up to F5 Noppers, this Tiger's pushing up without infantry up here. This is exposed to anything. We've got a squad lead up here, Shazza, that's clearly just marked it. So it's only a matter of time before they swamp that and kill that.
Yeah, that tank has been marked for the last 2-3 minutes probably. I think what the tank squad has done is they recognise it's a Tiger. They can't pen it with a medium. They've actually left their tank there and gone and got one from the middle HQ to go deal with that threat.
Keep an eye on fish sticks here. He's just taken down 2 dudes, and he's pushing into the Siegfried line from the north, it looks like.
All right, sorry about that. I'm just writing some stuff in the Twitch chat because the microphone thing was a bit annoying. All right, so here we go. We've got I Am Jack coming in. He's got a squad with him. Okay, good, but he's getting shot at now, I assume. See, I think that what their plan is here, tank support for that. Okay, all right, so here we go. We've got a garrison is going to get set up at Fox 5 Keypad 4. They're dropping supplies at Fox 7 Keypad 9. So that's 2 Garys. And they've completely given up on the southern edge of the map. Completely given up. Alpha Squad's pulled out. Everyone's gone. Everyone's gone. Is that what you do, Fuzz?
It's not what I do, but I think it's the realization that approach just isn't working. They've got to try something else.
Is it going to work? Is this going to work? What's happening right now?
I would have liked to have seen their red zone Gary probably another 100 meters south and a little bit more enclosed. Because at the moment it's sticking out in the open quite.
All right, so
Sorry, Noppers, it's going to get shut down pretty quickly because at the start of the game, Shazza here, squad leader, it was actually the commander for Chimera. They went straight to E6 and put up a beacon here because obviously when you want to attack Siegfried, taking Scar and trying to establish an attack from Scar is usually a good option. So they've got a beacon here, so that's going to light up like anything, and they're going to be coming from the north.
All right, I'm going to follow I Am Jack for the moment. We're going to, while we're waiting for this battle stuff to start here, let's have a quick look at some of the players here. I'm not real big on a lot of the TFK guys. I know a couple of names in there, but they're not very well known to me. The Chimera guys, of course, coming from the old HFKT. There's lots of folks there that I know. Who is the commander of Chimera at the moment?
It's Obi. Obi's the commander today.
All right, no worries. And of course, Aura 209 on the TFK team. So we're just following I Am Jack now. Let's see. I Am Jack is actually running towards the enemy commander who's just over the hill here. Oh, enemy commander is dead for I Am Jack. That's good for him to know.
Good kill.
Yeah, so we'll just do a bit of following him.
Look, I will just point out as well that TFK are a new team in Hell Let Loose. It's good to see him playing comp, but a hard lesson for him in comp today. I do think after a few games they're going to improve out of sight. I think this is going to be a big learning experience for TFK today.
Yeah, the HFKT now Chimera B. What are we calling them? The old.
I just call them Chimera Holden, mate.
Oh, that was a brutal strafing run. It literally, the 2 streams of Tracer went straight through 2 people side by side. And, yeah, all right. Yeah, rip, lads. Jesus. This has been shut down, hasn't it?
Yep, that whole northern assault has been shut down by 1 tank and half a squad of infantry, just neutralising that garrison.
That tank
Yeah.
Chimera made has been absolutely key to their success so far.
It's been the linchpin of the defence.
So who's in that tank at the moment? Let's have a look here. I'm trying to get...
That's Mugshot is a tank commander, and he's got Thork and Waffle Stomp in there with
Righto.
him as well.
Mugshot I've seen around a bit. Yeah, wow, that's shut down the whole thing, hasn't it? They've got less than 15 minutes left, or roughly 15 minutes in the battle left, and completely dominated by Chimera here. All right,
I think one of the things they've perhaps might want to think about is, and we probably didn't do it that well actually, but something we'll work on as well, is when you have that new attack direction. So it's great they need to switch direction. You actually still need to maintain some pressure from the other side, because now the new attack direction just got shut down completely. But if they had even a recon squad badgering from F8. Even as a diversion, you split the enemy defenses and you make them look in two directions, and straight away that's a bonus for an attacking team. Anytime you're just one-dimensional in your attack, unless it's a really good attacking opportunity that you really have to seize, it's usually a bad idea and you'll get shut down like they have, I think.
So I'm just looking at Bradox here. We're watching him go in. So the attack is being stalled by the fact that Chimera own Fox 8 Keypad 8. So they're putting fire support in, as I look at Bradox, bearing 200, bearing 200. This is what shut him down just before, with that tank, of course, as well. The tank's probably the MVP at this stage, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so. And it looks like they've actually taken the chance to drive a 76 up. They all redeployed, and they've driven a 76 up now to replace that 75 Sherman. And they're back at that hill with a spare tank in case it all goes wrong for him. Very, very smart.
Right. Well, I Am Jack has put his OP down now, so that's the closest I think they've been to Siegfried for the last 15 minutes, to be honest. It is hard. These Chimera guys are a very good team who practice a lot. They play together a lot. Their clan is fairly structured now in that it's very organized. I've watched them over the last couple of years, and they are a very consolidated clan, I guess I'd like to call it. So they really do focus on the clan activities and clan work and clan streams and clan performance, and it's very much showing here, regardless of the fact that TFK are a new team. Kudos to the Chimera guys for demonstrating that all of that hard work has paid off. We've got just over 10 minutes left for TFK to bring this back. We're watching I Am Jack still. He's chasing somebody up. Yep, he's got some fire support with him. Can they get there from where I Am Jack is? Can they make it across that open ground?
It's risky, but just reiterating what I think Airborne said, you need to be attacking from two vectors, else you're just doing the same thing as attacking from one side. It's not going to help you where that side is.
I've got it.
So much easier for the defending team, then they only have to focus their fire in one direction, not have to worry about their flanks.
We're watching Penguins, if that's how he says his name. That sounds like a Kiwi name for penguin, mate. Kiwi, am I right? Is that how you pronounce Penguins?
Yeah, no, if you guys want me to be the fall guy for this panel, I'll take that role. Everyone's got their role.
Literally, you've contributed nothing else here, mate. Anyway, I'm joking. I'm joking. He's sitting on top of the bunker, right in the point, and just killing everybody. He's
squirting fire down into them.
So there's a crossfire from the tank and Penguins. The whole attack's gone. That attack is completely gone. And now they've switched back to Golf 8, but the north attack was completely shut down. Although, see, this is what I was talking about last night, Kiwi. If you just pull your eyes up to around Echo 6 Keypad 3, there's half a dozen Chimera guys up there. So they've moved all the way up there to deal with what they believe is probably more infantry there, but I can see clearly there's no more TFK guys there, which means that the TFK guys can spawn in on that garrison, and, well, they'd like to, but there's a guy back here killing them and taking down the supplies again. They could spawn in, there'd be less defense. It's not working for them, though. It really isn't.
I've noticed there's a squad lead called Fish Sticks, but if it caters to your guys' stereotypes about Kiwis, I can say Fush Sticks. It's Fush.
See, there's only a small percentage of our viewers though, mate, that will actually know what the hell's going on anymore. You might as well be speaking German to them. All right,
You can still bring up jandals.
Pluggers.
Let's not.
Pluggers, you bloody weirdos.
That's it. I'm with you. Pluggers are the military way of explaining it.
Pluggers.
It's gone.
I think at this stage, man, for TFK, it's all or nothing. Like as we did yesterday, you got to understand when you're on the back foot, and it's drastic measures time. G the boys up, try and just, try and get them moving. They're frustrated. They're probably peeved off, without swearing on the.
I've
channel.
been dropping F-bombs everywhere, mate.
Okay, no, yeah, obviously they're really pissed off at this stage. So, it takes that commander to get the guys in a frame of mind where they can have one big attack, one big push. I said to the guys yesterday before the match, even if the plan is not that flash, if everyone commits to it, a not great plan can become an awesome plan. But you can't second guess it, you just got to go and play your role.
Yep.
Because, yeah.
So just confirm for me just quickly, someone on the other team in the admin cams, at Echo 5, is there an enemy truck of any sort? It looks like it's just a burnt out one.
At Echo 5, there's nothing there.
All right, well, I'm just following the Panzer 4 coming in at Fox 5. And what are we at for time? So we're down to 8 minutes left. Or 9 minutes, I'm sorry, just under. Here he comes. He's coming up onto the ridge line. Just trying to get a bit of a bearing onto the enemy tank, which, if we look at the view right now of what he's looking at, he's got a lot of trees to look through to find that enemy tank. Now, we know the enemy tank, well, it's marked, so they know where it is. And he's got, hey, when did Luz go around behind that enemy tank? There we go.
No idea. He is snuck around. He's been
Wow.
very
38 minutes. 38 minutes into the battle, and they've finally got someone around the back.
If he can get a Gary in E8 or something, or defend an airhead, I mean,
Airhead, mate.
this is one of those moments.
This is the airhead moment that we've all been waiting for. He's got to get down into the echo column, though. Am I correct there? Let's see, who's our subject matter expert? Whiskey, you'll do. Bus, under. So the airheads are only allowed to drop in the first 2 columns of the enemy territory. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So yeah, you're gonna have to sneak it just in there at the bottom of E8 there somewhere. But it's gonna take some defending because it's gonna light up like anything.
All right. Well, we're gonna follow him. I'm gonna follow him in follow cam. Obvious. I want to see what he does here. So they've marked the enemy garrison's been marked by him. Well done. He's picked up. Well, I keep calling him the enemy, but the Chimera garrison has been.
All right, TFK here with a huge push coming through the middle. Have a look at this. 5 guys all together rolling in through the trenches.
Yeah, but okay, well, we're going to jump back up there quickly. Just keep an eye on that guy down the bottom there for us too, please. I'm going to get up into the combat action here, see what these guys can do. So there's a push. See, they're flanked. They've got dudes behind them. They've got dudes in the middle. They've got dudes on the right. It's almost 360 around, 360 degree fire coming in on. It's Joshua, Mr. Chew, Cypher, Oscar the Fatty.
And that's that tank firing on them, so it was almost like mobile artillery for them.
Godfather's back there.
So Luz is almost straight into the point here. They've left the back door open a little bit here, but it looks like their half track's lit up. So there's a few.
There's the commander. The commander's chasing him down. What do we got? We've got, hang on, I'll check the time, 51 minutes, so we got 6 minutes left. Bombing run's coming in. Luz is there. Let's get down into the action a bit. Luz is down. He found the truck. He found the half track. And Obi's put in the coup de grace bullets as well, just to make sure he was dead. That's harsh, mate. Harsh. Yeah, well, it's just...
And here you go. Shaz is straight onto that supply drop here.
Where are we, mate? Where's that supply drop? At the back?
Yeah. It's coming down at the back there, yeah, in E8.
It's not even going to get there, is it?
Just showing their quality here and their experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Airhead coming in. but it's
That's already been called in
yeah,
and
no, it's
getting to be marked now. Just
Right.
quickly, what's TFK's fuel at? Because I noticed they pulled up a P4 instead of a Tiger.
They're at 1260, mate. I can't explain why they've done that. Maybe for speed. I'm not too sure.
Well, I'd say yes for speed, but they've gone again to that north side, north of the Scar, and they're looking for that tank. I don't know if they're trying to kill that 76, if they recognise that it's a 76, but they're trying to engage a heavy tank with a medium. We all know how that goes.
I've got I am Jack here. I've got I am Jack. Yeah, I know he knows it's there. He's watching it. I've got I am Jack here, who's putting down his OP. Now he's pulling his binos. See, this is where he can't pull his OP out, of course, because he's too far into the enemy's territory. Luz is there though as recon. He's put his OP at the back. Luz is pushing back into the point again. Now they've got two back here though, but Jack needs to get an OP up and get his squad in there and go and mess that tank up. The tank's likely going to be oblivious at this stage to the fact that there's enemy behind him, because you'd have to think the commander's hatch, whoever's in that, is probably just focused on the front, because he's been left alone for so long that they're just probably not even thinking there'd be an infantry threat with him. A good commander slot would actually look around, do a full sweep of the tank every, say, 15 seconds. What do you do? Who's our tanker here? Whiskey, you do a bit of tanking, don't you?
Nah, mate, I'm a terrible tanker.
Oh, that's right. You and I crap at it. I keep getting
Don't
mixed
ask
up.
me.
Who's our resident tanker in the channel?
I mean, some people would say tanks win games, but I wouldn't agree with that. It's usually squad leaders that win the games.
There you go. Losers coming in a bit of combat. He's down again. What about you, Fiercey, Kiwi? Either of you guys tankers?
Not really, mate. To be completely honest, or more of an infantry player.
We used,
It's all about positioning, man, and I really say the Chimera squad have really shown their quality this game with their positioning. They haven't really moved from that hill, and look at the damage they've done.
All right,
exactly. Yep.
The anti-tanker.
It's a mobile gun platform, isn't it? Sorry, not as
You're right, man. The anti-tanker for TFK just he went out onto the road where they've got complete overwatch on and shredded them, and the tank now knows they're up here, so it's spun its gun around. Okay, so they've worked it out. They've seen the supplies too that are falling in, so they're going to know there's a Gary there. They're putting, what's the size of the gun on this damn thing? I can't remember. 76 mil, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Can I just touch on that tanking, Knoppers? I mean, if Puzzle's in here, so I could ask him a question. I mean, so last night from the Foy Boys' perspective, the tank game didn't really play into our strengths, because obviously our tank crews used to moving around. They're very on the front foot. They're very offensive. Would you say that Chimera is more of a defensive tanking type team, or?
I'd say they've recognised what tanking has to be in this tournament, where it's 25v25. You've only got one tank to worry about. So on a lot of maps, kind of like your SME and all that, where you can't get AT guns, you take that tank out and you're only looking for AT and satchels for the next 5 minutes. I think they've recognised here we can sit back because we feel we're better tankers.
Yeah.
Also helps that this map, and especially this point, just favours it 100%.
We've got 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. It's 2 minutes to cap a point, isn't it?
Yep, that's correct.
So that's it.
There is overtime though in the BPL.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
So Fiercey, talk me through how the overtime works again for those that haven't worked it out yet.
So more or less, the best way to describe this is in a hypothetical scenario. If you're on a point and you're in control of the point, and there's 10 seconds left in the game, let's say, enemy team comes into the point and contests that point, and the timer runs out. If they can succeed in controlling that sector and the sector turns over during overtime, that's that team's win, the attacking team's win. If they successfully defend that attack after the timer runs out, and that little red bar that's counting up on the map goes back to being completely blue, other team's game, defending team's game.
Just quickly, Das, rip to the poor bastard that was down here. I can't remember who it was, but he got a rocket up the spout, if you know what I mean. That was the end of it. Hey, whilst the game is pretty much, is absolutely over. The Chimera guys have definitely won. That Panzer 4 is finally up into a point where it might have been able to be useful. So I'm looking at it now. It's sitting at Fox 6 keypad 1 roughly. they know where that tank is, the 76, but they took so long to find that tank and work out what that suppressive fire was coming from the ridgeline. That is something for the TFK guys to learn here is, identifying those threats and then reading your map and working out how to, I guess, protect your flank. So that Panzer IV needed to protect itself from the 76, so it could use defilade, what we call defilade, or the ground lower down to try and shield its right flank as it pushed forward to the point. Clearly, it couldn't come up onto the Siegfried line from the 8 row because it was just going to get popped every time it popped over the ridge. So it's come in from the north, and there's plenty of ground out here that I'm looking at right now where it could sit. I've got the camera set on a point right now where I've got Overwatch on the bunker, and there's no way anyone could see us from down in here. Let's get right into that. There's a bombing run for good measure from. Well, look, it's
the best run of the game.
It is.
Pity there's no troops there to back it up.
Yeah, that's disappointing, isn't it? When you finally get one working. We're looking at the map now. This TFK, what they're doing now, they are in 1, 2, 3, 4 grid squares. Finally, it has taken way too long for that to occur. And that's unfortunately the problem for them. If you look at the point right now, for the Chimera guys, they are spread out, and there are thin numbers there. There we go. That looks like it's GG. That was it. GG.
Managed to satchel the tank. TFK have managed to satchel Chimera's tank.
Oh no!
Probably just outside of the time. Yeah.
Well,
saying too little, too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's see that. There we go. The tank.
Oh,
He
no,
blew
they
himself.
got it. Yeah, they got it.
He blew himself
Small
up.
consolation.
So
Small consolation.
if you had to pick a best player tonight, guys, who out of the Chimera team, who would it be?
I'd be that tank crew for sure. Just that total dominance over that ridge just made it that no real substantial threat could come over without taking some fire.
Yeah, agreed.
They did well to get that. They got that transport truck straight away as soon as it crested over that ridge. So that was a big moment at the start there.
All right. Well, hopefully, lads, what I'm going to do now is we'll wrap up this particular cast, and I'm not going to hit end stream tonight. I'm going to just put it on a pause for a few minutes. My microphone's now clearly working, and I do apologise for that earlier. It was coming through my headset mic, and I hadn't picked up on that, and I probably just should not play in between casting sessions. But anyway, that's my fault. Anyway, so we're going to just take a quick break now for 5 minutes or so while we wait for the next match to come along. It is almost time for the next match to start, so I'll remain here watching what's going on, and we'll kick back in about 5 minutes' time. For those in the panel, thanks very much for joining us for this one, and if you're sticking on with us, we look forward to talking to you then. Ladies and gents.
Ref this next game, but thank you very much for having me as a guest. Would love to do it again.
No worries. No worries at all, mate. For the punters watching in the stream, here have some cool military marching music, and we'll talk to you again shortly, folks.